Before I start answering, could I ask you to clarify the question? Because I listened to my two fellow debaters. Was your question about Iran?
No, Iraq. I'm sorry.
Iraq. I did. It was about Iraq. About Iraq. I misheard.
Sorry if I misspoke.
Well, there was no reason for us to get into Iraq. It was not a threat to us. You asked what would happen if there was civil war. Well, there was sadly civil war under Mugabe, and it's a terrible one. There have been civil wars elsewhere. There was a vicious and bitter civil war in Sri Lanka. I think we should work as part of an international effort to try and mediate those. But no, absent a threat to the U.S. or absent another genocide, because I think we should be more interventionist in Darfur, no, the Americans should not be intervening in general. It is the case that we cause part of this problem by destabilizing things, but I do have to say for Mr. Sholley, I agree we shouldn't be policing the world. We don't need a $700 billion military budget not to police the world. It is an area where we're going to cut the deficit without savaging domestic programs or reducing Social Security benefits, as he advocated in the Bedford Standard Times. We've got to find savings elsewhere. And I agree with him that we should not be overusing the military, but we shouldn't be overspending on either. They should not be sacrosanct to get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars that are unneeded.
Thank you. And I'll just remind everyone that I did create this rule, so if you want extra time, you can raise your hand and we'll have a minute of rebuttal.
Could I have a minute?
Sure, go ahead.
I just wanted to finish what I was saying here. The point is also that under Article 1, Section 10, no state shall engage in war unless actually invaded or in such imminent danger as will not admit delay. The fact is, also under our laws, no money shall be drawn from the Treasury, but in consequence of appropriations made by law. That means that members of Congress who recorded votes to fund the invasion of Iraq incriminated themselves as accessory to murder in Iraq. And now the point is, the best thing for Iraq is for us to withdraw from Iraq. And I also think that we, conscientious Americans that we are, should, after this withdrawal take place, we should ourselves, if they're willing, go and help them rebuild. Let's donate, and not to Halliburton. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Well, first of all, I never said to anyone at the New Bedford Standard Times that I want to savage Social Security. I come from a family where Social Security was important. Those payments were important to the members of my family, many of whom do not have a college education. They haven't been as lucky as I. So I'm not sure where that came from. I think I was in favor of the lockbox, which means that we should protect Social Security. So that seems to be the complete opposite. Getting back to what can we eliminate? First of all, we can eliminate the Department of Education. The Department of Education was set up during Jimmy Carter's regime. Jimmy Carter, the teachers' unions voted for Jimmy Carter in the 70s when he first ran for president, and as a gift, he gave them the Department of Education. We don't need it. Parents are the children's first educators. We don't need a national federal bureaucracy to intrude into our lives, to propagandize our kids, and you know, you have social elitists controlling all of this. By the way, they voted for Democrats at every election since then.
All right, thank you. We are ranging pretty widely here, but Mr. Frank, you get a minute of rebuttal.
From the October 26th, i.e. today, the Bedford Standard Times, Mr. Sholley also called for an overhaul of Social Security, suggesting delayed or reduced benefits and a curb on entitlements. Is in today's Standard Times. If they're wrong, I'm sure they'll be glad to give you a retraction.
I'm sure they will, since they never get it right.
Well, does that come out of my time? No.
Go ahead. I'll give you 10 seconds extra.
They're dumb.
Mr. Sholley, you're no fellow either.
Yeah.
So he did call for this according to the Standard Times. If that's inaccurate, he should say so. But I do go back again to saying, with regard to spending on the military, you are not going to put the American budget in reasonable shape without unduly cutting a whole lot of other things. If you continue to allow the Pentagon free rein, Mr. Sholley says he wants to spend more. It is the most wasteful bureaucracy. They spend unduly, and we are spending now because we are in Iraq and planning to go, in the President's mind, elsewhere, although the Pentagon would not agree. So I think that's a central question. I do not see how you can have a rational allocation of our national resources if you spend even more in the Pentagon than is now being spent given the war in Iraq and all these other weapons that are being produced for a Cold War that's over.
All right.
Can I have another 30 seconds?
Well, the rules that I announced, which was that everyone got one chance to initiate a round of rebuttals. Ms. Allen just initiated a round of rebuttals. If you would like to, I will give you your round now. Mr. Sholley, would you like that?
Yes, I just want to say, so there's no misunderstanding,
So 1 minute.
I think we should increase the defense budget. However, like John McCain, I believe that we need to look at the contractual arrangements that we have set up. John McCain has done a good job of that. I think we need to cut out all earmarks and pork. It's a disgrace that along with the $700 billion bailout, $150 billion worth of pork and earmarks were attached. These people have no shame. We could use the military in other ways. Some people forget we have the Army Corps of Engineers, and the Army Corps of Engineers does a lot of good work around this country. It's not only used for military purposes. We have dikes to repair. We have an aging and decaying infrastructure in this country, and they need to be worked on. We have the Army Corps of Engineers. I live in Norfolk. They just repaired a bridge there in the last few years, and it's great because it used to flood in the spring. Every year it flooded. Now it doesn't flood anymore. That was the Army Corps of Engineers, your tax dollars at work. That's a good thing.
All right, Mr. Frank.
Well, I join with Sholley in supporting increased domestic spending, for example, on infrastructure. In fact, I will be supporting an economic stimulus package because we've got to get out of this terrible recession, and that will include money for infrastructure. But to suggest that the Corps of Engineers, we're very familiar with it, we're working with them on the Muddy River and Hook Line. They are taking a very important role for us in cleaning up the dump in Norton. Of course they're important, but they're a tiny fraction of the federal budget. And it's simply inconsistent to acknowledge that we should cut down on contractor waste, say we should pull out of Iraq, and then increase defense spending. What are you going to increase it on? If we make it more efficient, if we get out of Iraq, if we don't police the rest of the world, there's this myth that military spending is somehow going to be the only thing we do. As to infrastructure, I agree with that. But doing it through the Corps of Engineers is not always the most efficient way. What I would like to do is, and we will do this when Congress comes back after the election, pass an economic recovery package that will give some money to the states, increase the federal share of Medicaid, and provide also some money for infrastructure through states and cities.
Thank you.